there's a lot of young people who actually, they use it for emotional support as well.
And recommend every single person, like specifically young people, to be responsible and to use AI responsibly.
I've seen some people say that, oh, come on, it's my new boyfriend or it's my new girlfriend.
AI is not human,
Yeah.
and it doesn't have the human intelligence. It has its own way of intelligence, which is being trained on.
Hello and welcome to EDnews-TV. I am your host, John Ayomide. Today we're discussing one of the most influential topics around the world today, talking about artificial intelligences, young people also learning about education, thinking about how to grow in the world. Today we have our special guest, Mr. Etibar Aliyev, who is an AI expert. Of course, also he has a global profile in AI. He also works on language model for Google and Meta, and also he advises on AI auditing and regulation. Mr. Aliyev, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here.
I've seen a lot of people that talks about AI today, about in political life as well, and a lot of people, big names around the world who talks about artificial intelligence, how it helps or how it's, make this generations maybe behind or even lazy as well. As you leave work and you go home, how do you foresee AI changing the narrative in the global world today?
So currently there is a huge trend, almost like in all countries. Actually, every country is trying to apply basically artificial intelligence in different fields. But the main idea is always to basically help human at the end. So what I really see based on my experience, I would say that there is a huge perspective there, and everyone can possibly utilize this tool just to improve the basically the world in a better way. So currently different kind of researches are done. Actually, I've been involved in mainly large language models, but also I've had exposure to the different fields in AI, specifically in computer vision as well. So yeah, there is a perspective there, obviously, and I think almost in every country, including Azerbaijan, trying to use this in a good way.
When we talk about younger generations, I think you're one of them as well.
Yep.
Today, younger generations use AI to study. They even use it to create content or do sort of things.
Right.
Do you think we are more dependent on AI, or do you think we're more maybe just smarter than AI?
Yeah, so let's just focus on, first of all, what's artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence is not human intelligence. It is actually based on mathematical formula that is trying to predict the, let's say, if you are talking about large language models, it's trying to predict the next word. And that with the highest probability, it's trying to create some content for you. So I'm talking about the generative AI at this point. So it is not what human actually, it's not the way human think. But what it really does is that you are basically training the artificial intelligence on the large amount of data. So you have a huge amount of data, and what data you give, artificial intelligence is basically giving you the answer based on your data. So that's why I see that there are some worries actually around that artificial intelligence should basically replace human, but it is not the case. It is mainly automating some basically normal procedures. It is helping you out to get rid of unnecessary basically work, so that you can focus on a high level intelligence related jobs, basically based on your creativity. So when it comes to let's say creating some content on the internet, it is obviously up to you what you really put there. So it is up to your expertise, that the way you put let's say prompt to the large language model, it is giving you based on your prompt. So if you are expertise enough, you are basically giving a prompt in expertise way. Basically, you are just putting out more detailed information so that you can get the information back. So it affects the creativity. Obviously, if you have creative mindset, then in this case, you will be receiving based on your input. So it is not basically getting rid of the human here. Actually, it is just helping you out so that you can create something much more better than it used to be. So it's helping you out to get rid of unnecessary steps, let's say in data input or searching some information.
Even just to quote one of the famous person's speech,
Right.
that was Elon Musk. I
Yep.
think in 2020, he mentioned that AI is potentially going to take over a lot of jobs around the world.
Right.
That was his statement.
Yep.
And let's dive back to Azerbaijan itself. It's a
Right.
small country in this region. It's
Yep.
a developing country,
Right.
in the potential to develop a lot.
Yes.
And when we see in the daily life of Azerbaijanis, what do you think is changing with the young mindset? Using AI, do you think they are using it in the right way? And how do you think we can focus on them positive and the negative side that we can be keen to look at?
So there are some advantages. Obviously, advantages I think outweigh most of the time the disadvantages. But yes, advantages are that obviously you are just getting rid of like removing unnecessary steps in your way, basically in your plan, just to automate the data input, getting rid of like basically, I mean, you don't really spend some time, useful time on cleaning the data set or searching some information, so you get it like really fast way. So these are the advantages. Obviously, it can help you specifically in education and healthcare, because let's say if someone used to want to actually learn some specific information, they were just basically using some tutors, but they were actually spending some time. So they needed to basically spend some time and search for information and basically prepare that the document that they want to learn, right? So this was in education. But right now with AI, you can simply use like the tutor there. You can just create simply, let's say in ChatGPT or Gemini, your own tutor, and basically customize education procedure for yourself. So that's why it is helping. So in healthcare, let's say doctors can simply use AI just to find some specific patterns. Let's say let's say they are just trying to figure out your what kind of like sickness you have. So AI can help them out to see some patterns that usually human can basically cannot at some point, right? So that's why it is really advantage. But disadvantages, these are not the disadvantage. These are just the worrisome that like it's gonna basically replace human body, human work basically. So it's not gonna do that. So it is gonna help you out. I mean, obviously, people are thinking that this can. Yes, Elon Musk says that it will be replaced, but we have seen actually different in throughout the history that, let's say, back in the time in 60s, people used to think that like the machines will replace them, right? So right now it's AI. So it is not about like replacing them. It's more about like humans are capable of using that. So because there is supposed to be enough information, enough knowledge, obviously, and knowledge sharing among people so that they can know actually how to use it. Let's say simply based on my experience, I can say that like while using like large language models, you need to know how to put the prompts there, right? So there are specific ways. You have to break down the whole big problem into digestible format so that like large language can give you better answer.
But you know, there are experts like you who actually understand, as you said, the prompt of it. Maybe, for example, someone like me, I probably wouldn't understand it better than you will understand. And when we're looking at ChatGPT, for instance, or Gemini, as you said, there's a lot of young people who actually, you know, they use it for emotional support as well. I've seen some people say that, oh, come on, it's my new boyfriend or it's my new girlfriend, or they're even asking like, how can I do this? Or how can I talk to a girl? I think recently on the social media, on Instagram, I saw this particular post of this guy who was actually, you know, writing with ChatGPT with his girlfriend. And it's like falling in love with his girlfriend, but while using ChatGPT. And do you see any problem in this? I mean, are we going crazy, let's say? I mean, what is happening, even using it for emotional support?
In this actually point, I would like to emphasize more on the governance side of it. Like basically having like AI governance or getting rid of some biases AI might have, because as I told you before, AI is actually trained on vast amount of data, and if in the data there is a bias, there is some issues, let's say specifically in terms of psychology, then in this case someone can go work around, do some put the prompt in a way that large language can give you like the not intended response. So yes, this is happening obviously, but what I can really say that this type of things has happened in the past as well. They were able to search it like on Google as well and get the same response, obviously, because this is based on that. So AI governance should be there, obviously, specifically like in terms of like privacy, let's say private data, there is supposed to be like specific tools to basically regulate it somehow. So there is a work going around that, and also like research has been made towards just to make the AI much more responsible as well as explainable, because it actually looks like mainly I would say like the deep learning based models are kind of black box. So it is at some point a little bit hard to understand it at this point. So that's why there's a work going around that.
Okay, just for the last question without taking your time, you're an expert.
Right.
Probably more expert out there. In just a sentence, how would you advise people using AI? The young generations, the growing one, not even maybe not our generation, but the new ones to come. How would you advise us to use the AI? Should we use it for a potential partner, as you said, or should we use it for something, that's going to be big? How would you advise?
I would highly suggest and recommend every single person, like specifically young people, to be responsible and to use AI responsibly. As I told you, like AI is not human, and it doesn't have the human intelligence. It has its own way of intelligence, which is being trained on, as I mentioned, the data. So that's why if you rely on specifically such issues like the private matters with AI and try to understand it, obviously you shouldn't be expecting at some point like expertise level some point, because you don't really put it in expertise way, so you shouldn't be really expecting like expertise way of answer. So that's why you have to know how to use the prompts, and if you are really looking for such advice, obviously you can search for the sources specifically, so that you can go to the source and understand, let's say, if there's something psychologically related. Obviously, there are researches, articles you can refer to just to learn yourself and improve personally. So I would highly suggest like young people to use AI, like to learn stuff, to make, let's say, if you are conducting some research, it is really good tool. It can give you like some references, so you can go ahead and search it. Or you can use it like specifically in software engineering. People can use it like to debug the code, find out like what are the issues in the code, and like basically fix it. I don't really mean that write whole code from the AI, because there will be some issues. There might be, because AI also hallucinate, just like human does, let's say. So that's possible. So you have to be really careful while doing so. And it's all about like putting responsible prompt and get it at the same time. So yes, there was such issues. Obviously we all know that like someone is trying to get recommendation in personal relationships, or but you have to understand that this is AI. This can give you like really good recommendations, also like the bad ones. So it is inevitable, I would say, that to get rid of that. So to run away from such issues. So, but as long as you put it like in a nice way to the prompt will also give you like good results, obviously. So, but obviously there are some issues specifically in the governance side. Right now, there is a huge work going around to, I don't mean like limitations, but more of like somehow regulating AI responses so that you don't really get some sensitive, some specific information in sensitive side.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your great insight. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the head of the session. I hope you've learned a lot about artificial intelligence. And I even think that probably young generations will be able to use artificial intelligence in a good way, in a good manner, and a good ethics. Stay tuned for more, and hopefully we can see you later. Thank you very much.